All right, what's good, guys? I ended up just getting back from the gym, so I wanted to make a trade recap on today's trade. I'm currently in a gold trade right now. I've been monitoring in the Discord for the people who are in the Discord, and I monitor on my X account. But we came into our move stop loss level right here, which is approaching into this 4-hour bearish fair value gap, right? Again, I'm going to put my break even at the 50% level of this, and I'm going to target this hourly gap, this hourly high is my first take profit. New York high is my second, and I'm going to let it run all the way up to here because I truly believe we can come take out these 4-hour highs above and continue this overall higher time frame trend because we still never broke structures to the downside in the 4-hour time frame. And overall market structure is still bullish. So again, I want to see its break structure in the hourly time frame also, which happens in 14 minutes. So that'd be a good confirmation if we could do that also. We've already broke structure in the 15-minute time frame. But again, if you guys want me to start going over these trades, I can. But again, we're going to reduce our risk on this. We moved it to around 12 points, this risk. But originally we had it around 19 points. So again, we reduced our risk a good amount of points. And we haven't hit a break-even level, so we're not going to go break-even yet. Because this is definitely a potential reversal spot. But what I do want to go over is I want to go over today's trade on NQ. Today was an interesting day. The market moved very weird. Again, we got those giant wicks. If you go back and watch the live session, I didn't like staying in today's trade. I've been working on letting my runners run, do their thing and all that, but today I didn't, right? I wanted to target this previous day high, but I just didn't like how overall market structure was looking. I was going off of intuition. It wasn't taken off emotion. I still haven't journaled yet, but I'm going to journal that. I truly believe it was taken off of intuition. But again, I like today's trade. I'm going to go over why I took it, what I did well, what I did wrong, and again, hopefully this can help you guys understand something a little bit better for your trading. Okay, so we'll go to 9:30 open. If we look at the higher time frame, we can go back and also let's do this on ES also. We can go to the higher time frame, right? We could see that we ended up coming down. We had relative equal lows. That's why I was a little iffy on taking longs today, but again, ended up setup presented itself, so I took it. But we didn't inverse this 4-hour bearish gap yet. On NASDAQ, we did coming into market open, right? We never broke structure back to the downside in the 4-hour time frame. We're overall bullish in the daily, the weekly, the 4-hour. That's pretty obvious, right? We come down to the hourly time frame on market open, and we could see that again. We broke structure in the hourly time frame. Overall bullish, right? I want to see what the market wanted to do. We have an hourly order block down here. I'm pretty sure we had London session lows. Excuse me, down here somewhere. Yep, we did. We had London session lows right here on NASDAQ, and we had them on ES, so we ended up sweeping those out and continuing higher, but I really want to show what happens off of that. So again, market open, we open off rip, we come down, we sweep out London session low. We end up forming this hourly low down here by 10 a.m. You'll see that get marked out in a second, the hourly low, because I was paying attention to it, but we end up sweeping London session low on both indexes. We can mark it out over here, honestly, if you guys want, so that could be helpful. Yeah, right here. Let's mark this out, so this could be helpful. So I actually want to go in depth on this. All right, that's London session. We can go to the 5-minute time frame now. Let's X this out. We'll try and, again, I wish I could replay this, but I can't. All right, so we can see pre-market, ES comes, takes out London session low, so NASDAQ decides to come take that out. We end up breaking structure on the 5-minute time frame. We didn't break structure on the 5-minute time frame on NASDAQ yet. I thought we had the potential to reverse down, but we ended up getting a 5-minute inverse fair value gap. That is not enough confirmation for me. If we maybe had a 5-minute SMT and we broke structure on the 5-minute time frame on ES and then inversed on NASDAQ, could have taken it, but it ended up with it playing out today. If you took that entry, it's still a good entry. Personally, it wasn't up for what I wanted to take. So price is continuing higher. We could see that price wants to continue higher, but I personally like to wait for a 5-minute retracement candle, which is a 5-minute bearish candle closure. And I'm also paying attention to the 15-minute time frame. We end up breaking structure on the 15-minute time frame, creating a 15-minute order block right here, right? I don't even have it marked out, but let's have this black line as an order block. But I haven't used order blocks in a while, right? I have them in my arsenal and I use them as tools sometimes, but again, this is just basically more market experience on where I wanted the market to go. I thought it looked pretty good when we ended up taking this trade. We came into a 15-minute order block, which you'll see. We got our 5-minute retracement, and price ended up continuing higher. So again, if this previous day high ended up getting hit, I probably wouldn't have traded, but I wanted to wait for that 5-minute retracement, right? I like staying patient with that. And it ended up playing out in our favor today. So we end up getting that 5-minute retracement. The market ends up continuing down. We could have marked out equilibrium of this range, right, if we really wanted to. And then we could see price ends up coming down into this 15-minute order block, right, if we go to the 15-minute time frame. And we had a 15-minute fair value gap right here. But we ended up inversing this 15-minute fair value gap, right? But again, we never broke structure to the downside in the 15-minute, and we had ES continuing higher. So I was still overall bullish. Just because we inverse a 15-minute bearish bullish fair value gap doesn't mean I'm not going to be instantly bearish. We still never broke structure. We're still in a 15-minute order block. We're close to 15-minute equilibrium. I'm paying attention to what's happening here, right? So we end up forming a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. I thought if we end up inversing this gap, we're probably going to continue higher. So let's mark out this 5-minute bearish gap right here, NQ. But I would scale down to the 1-minute time frame because, again, we came into this 15-minute order block. We almost came into equilibrium. If we're going to inverse this gap, we're probably going to continue higher. We have a good break-even level at this high. Again, bada bing, bada boom, target the previous day highs, okay? So I'm on the 1-minute time frame, and this is what I really like that I did today is I don't enter off inverse fair value gaps just because we're getting like a V-shaped recovery off of this. I need to see a 1-minute break of structure. So the 1 minute's in line, the 15 minutes in line, the hourly's in line, the 4-hour. So the lower time frame's in sync with the higher time frame, right? So I'm waiting for that break of structure to get my first entry. And we'll wait for we mark that out. Boom. We get that break of structure. We didn't yet here. I remember watching this live. You can go watch it live if you want. Bang. We get the break of structure right here. So this was my first entry, right? This was my first entry. Our entry ended up getting a little bit lower because you're going to see what I ended up doing. So let's X out these 1-minute fair value gaps because we don't need those. That's just marking out the trades and letting them run. I ended up taking this first entry, putting my stop loss below this candle's body, right? 47 points or something like that. Or it was a little bit more because, again, it would have been up here. It was like 57 points or something like that. But I entered in 1 micro on this trade because we didn't inverse that 5-minute fair value gap yet. We had like a minute left on this candle. Once we got the confirmation of inversing this 5-minute bearish fair value gap, that is when I entered my full position, keeping my stop below this candle's body, and that was our overall full entry. Break even at this point, target previous day highs. Again, I think this is a good continuation model. In my opinion, we came down to a 15-minute order block, overall higher time frames bullish, overall market's been bullish. We have previous day highs above. Came down that 15-minute order block, almost came into equilibrium. We end up coming up, inversing a 5-minute bearish fair value gap, showing us that bearish market structure is being disrespected. We never broke structure on the 5-minute, never broke structure on the 15-minute. I was all in for this trade, okay? As we could see, the trades ends up running. Those big wicks probably aren't going to show, but we managed this trade really well. We ended up coming up, hitting our break-even level. I managed the trade to our break-even. I wasn't trailing my stop yet. We get this big candle down, and then we just let the overall trade run. So we ended up getting a good break-even level at this point. We didn't get stopped out. Price continues higher. We didn't take any partials yet, but we ended up getting like 2 giant wicks. I don't think they're going to show. For some reason, TradingView was like glitching out. We get 2 giant wicks to the downside. It was happening on ES over here. I didn't know it was happening. It was tweaking me out. I didn't like it. I didn't like how price action was looking. I thought it was like going to just skyrocket down at one point. So I decided to take a partial around 69 points because, again, what time is this at? 10:10? Yeah, we're continuing a little. Oh, sorry. This isn't even the previous day high. Where are we at over here? 11:05. Yeah, like 11:15-ish. 11:15-ish, we got ES approaching this previous day high. So even regardless, my game plan was to either take a partial or secure my full profit once ES took that previous day high in case we wanted to form an SMT off of it. So we started continuing higher. I'm keeping an eye on ES over here, as you guys can see. I take a partial just because I wanted to. And then I end up still letting the trade run. And then I end up taking my profits around this candle right here because around 11:20 or something like that. Yeah, 11:20. I thought ES was going to take out this previous day high. It came really close. So I secured my profit when that was happening just in case we were going to form an SMT and stop us out because, again, we could have continued lower. I'm pretty sure on ES we had 15-minute gaps that we could fill below. Yeah, we had these 15-minute gaps, this 15-minute gap, this 15-minute gap. I thought we were going to form an SMT off that, retrace even lower, and then continue higher up and take out previous day high, which we never did on ES, which is interesting. So again, overall idea on the trade ended up playing out if we let it completely play for like another 40 minutes. It did retrace down a little bit, and then it ended up consolidating by our full take profit, and then our full take profit ended up getting hit. This was my overall target, but it would have been an extra, I think, $36 per account or something like that if we let that last micro run. So I really didn't care much about it. So again, I post my entries and stuff like that. I post it on Twitter. I post it in the Discord all the time. I'm transparent with what I do, but we made around 2.53K today, $252 per account. Not the biggest trade, but again, personally, based off of how big my stop loss was, and we were entering off of a 5-minute bearish fair value gap being inversed. It was getting a little bit later in the day. The market was moving weird. We were getting those ginormous wicks. Go back and watch the live session when that happened. That was kind of weird to me. I'd never seen that before in all the years I've traded. But again, yeah, it was an interesting day. I personally think one thing I could have done better is really let my trade run. But I can make up that excuse and get FOMO because now I can see what happened. But I truly believe I made this off of a standpoint of a logical standpoint, just because our price was moving. We were getting those giant wicks. I was getting the intuition to just take the trade. It wasn't because of where the profit was or anything like that. I truly believe that. And again, I think just today was one of those days where I just wanted to get out of the market and not be holding my trade just a couple extra points, which would have been what? 17, 16 more points. Nothing crazy. We still took profit around a 70-point trade. I'm still good with that at the end of the day. Green is green in my opinion. But again, we've been working really hard on letting our trades run. I still believe we're going to keep doing that. I just don't want this to build bad habits in the future. But I just feel like some days there's going to be days like this where that intuition is just kicking in. And it's just the market was doing weird things today. I didn't like how we got that giant wick on ES, and then it happened twice on NASDAQ. I wanted to be out of it. I don't know what was happening. It seemed weird to me. Who knows? I literally looked up. You can see in the live video, and I thought I got stopped out, but I didn't hear the order stopped or whatever it is, stop filled, and I was confused. But we let the trade run. We let it do its thing. We hit 70 points, and I'll take that. Take that on the day, right? It was taken with only 2 micros, but I de-risked a little bit on it, right? If we ended up going in one more micro, it would have been out of my risk reach. So I was just fine with risking what I was risking, because if we take this right here all the way down to this candle's body, it was around 47-point stop loss. So if it was 47 times 2, we were risking 188 per account. But if we do 47 times 2 times 3, I would have been risking 282 per account, and my risk to reward system is around 200 to 250 per account. So again, I was taking a different entry. It wasn't different, not different. It's the same strategy, but it was a little bit more aggressive. But I overall trusted the trade. We let it play out. I liked the risk. Ended up playing out. And again, we made more than a 1-to-1 RR, which is good at the end of the day, in my opinion. So again, is what it is. That was my mindset on the trade. I just wanted to film a trade recap on this trade because we did take a trade off of. I really need to fix this. We need to make something here. I don't know why I don't have it marked out. It just shows you I don't use order blocks much. But let's do order block like that. And then we'll save draft. Order block. We'll keep that. But again, 15-minute order block, got tapped right into. We almost tapped into equilibrium also. Overall higher time frames bullish. We swept out London session lows. We waited for confirmation, especially after we inversed this 15-minute bullish gap. But again, we used that 15-minute order block to identify, hey, if we end up inversing this 5-minute bearish gap, we're most likely probably going to continue higher. So again, I scaled down to the 1-minute time frame, ended up getting our first entry entering a partial because we had a minute left on this 5-minute candle, which was all the way up here. I truly believed it was going to get that inverse fair value gap, which we ended up getting. Entered in my full position, stopped below this candle's body because this was too big of a stop for me. And then, yeah, the overall trade played out, as you could see. But again, we did take partials like 16 points early today, but we still had a 70-point trade. And again, that's pretty much it. We move on to the next day. So if you want to go watch the live session, posted. If you want to join the Discord, go click my the link in my bio to my website. You do have to pay for the Discord to trade live with us because I only want serious traders in that. And again, we just want to keep getting better and doing the right things over time, being transparent, showing our journey, helping as many people as we can, and just showing the truth, right? So again, that's my trade recap on the day. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit. I know I'm a little hyped up and talking fast because I had a little bit of pre-workout coffee. And I'm still probably feeling the effect of that. But again, was excited to film this trade recap. Hopefully this helps. Peace out. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Adios. Wait, hold on. Let's not leave yet. Let's see how this trade's looking. What the fuck's going on? Oh, it's because we're in replay mode. Oh, lordy, we're getting that retrace. We have a 15-minute bullish gap down below. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get protected by this. But again, we've reduced our risk on this trade already. We expected price to maybe retrace at this level because we are coming into a 4-hour bearish for value gap. We should expect some sort of retrace or price can reverse and take out this daily low down below. But we reduced our risk. We'll see what happens, and then we'll pretty much go from there. All right, peace out. Peace out. Where's the button?